Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening wherever you are. The stream is about to start. Grab your favorite drink. Sit back and relax. You're chilling with HexAsians. With your host, Crypto Vince, Uncle Kevin Hex, and Middle Class Working Man.
HexAsians, nice.
Hello.
Boom. Konbanwa.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Hey.
What up? Got a full house today.
Yes. More anonymous members. Crypto Vince has re-anonymized himself and has moved downstairs here with the slum people like me. Hi, Vince.
Yes, I'm in good company.
Aw.
And me today, too.
Oh, yeah, and David's down here, too. What do you think of the bottom floor? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Am I Bobby and David is Cindy Brady? Nice.
There you go.
Say what?
Well, you didn't grow up with a Brady bunch.
Brady
You guys are
Bunch.
from Asia or something.
Oh, the baby.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't grow up with it, but I know.
No, I rewatched it.
Not in an Asian household.
No.
Papa's feeling old now.
Dude, feeling, smelling, looking.
Hey, you don't look old, man.
Aw. Let's talk in the green room. You're my new best friend. Well, you don't look a day over Swan.
I'm a fresh swan. Fresh swan.
What was it? Somebody last stream, did somebody ask, where do they find black swans anyway? That was an actual question.
I remember that. Yeah.
Who was that?
I think Frank. Frank's not with us today.
Frank's not with us anymore. I'm sorry for your loss, everyone.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. And we lost our head of command here, too.
Uh-oh.
Let's hope that he comes back sometime.
Whoops.
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
There he is.
Well, let me make some arrangements. Give me a second. Yep. David Vince gets a promotion. And the long form down the bottom. I can't put Black Swan up there. Okay, anyway. It's all fine. It's all good. Anyway, we've got two new streamers. Well, or rather, first timers, noobs. Should I even say that?
Yeah, guys, go ahead and
You just did.
go ahead and introduce yourselves. Start with Jerry.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Good evening. I'm Jerry
Hello.
from Japan.
Oh, Japan.
Yeah,
Welcome, Jerry. Welcome.
yeah.
Welcome to
meet
the
you.
family.
yeah.
I
Welcome
just
to the
heard.
chaos.
I just heard Hex. For I think a week ago, and I becoming
You wanna-
interested to
You
know.
want to
So
learn more.
I'm just like observer now.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the party.
Welcome.
What? Just before you go, where did you hear Hex from? Who told you?
Hex from Crypto King.
Yay! Always
Oh,
on
no.
24/7.
Nice. Another recruit. Crypto.
Yeah.
The walking billboard.
That's it.
He's all over Japan recruiting.
Yeah, he's lighting up his cup with the hex.
Oh, yeah.
Hex. Nighttime
Oh, yeah,
you
the
can
hat.
see him with the hex lights.
Hex
Yeah,
lights?
you saw my hat.
Oh,
The
right.
hat with the lights. You know, my infamous hat that I always
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Where do you
nice.
get them
That's it.
from, Crypto King?
from Amazon has them. Chemion. If you
Okay.
just search for CHEMION hat on Amazon, you'll find it. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They've got hats. I think they've got shades or
Glasses.
sunnies or sunglasses as well. I think they've got face masks as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But that will just look really, really funny. But anyway, it's all good. Hey, Heximus, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. You want to quickly say something about yourself?
I'm Patrick. I was brought on by Crypto King, aka G-Rod. I appreciate it.
Nice.
He was a little patient with me. Unfortunately, I didn't start sooner. He was trying to get me on a year ago.
Oh.
Oh,
I didn't listen to him, but he kept streaming through, and I was like, "Hey!" And finally, I was just like, "What's going on?"
Yep. It
Very
was
cool.
I mean, it was just a moment. I just walked through the eatery. It's like a recreation area on the base, the restaurant and stuff like that. So I just bumped into Pat, and I was like, "Hey, I'm decked out with all my stuff." Pat's familiar with crypto. He's been dipping his hands in crypto. So, yep, that's all it took was a quick, little quick here and there.
May I just interject one thing for Mr. Sojourner on the chat? He wants to know, where do I go for the best migration? Well, it's just so funny that here on Discourse Syndicate Network, we have a video. Please go to YouTube and type in 2 words, Hex Migration, and you'll find the Wake Up Hex show with Kinetics, 1 episode. Click on that. It's the first one that comes up. Go down to the comment section. You have 2 timestamps. Check that out, and then see you in chat if you have a problem. Sorry about that, guys. Just wanted to take care of that real quick.
Sounds good.
Easy day.
Absolutely.
It's all good. Yeah.
Great. So, sorry, just back to Heximus again. So, Crypto King, just go, yo, what's up? I'm rich and you're not. Did he say that?
Not quite that, but
Not quite. Okay. Nah, it's good. It's all good. Like David Morales was saying, better late than never. True.
Yeah.
And what a best time to buy if you're looking to accumulate. What are we tracking now? 14 cents, 14.2, I think.
yep. Now here's a good thing. A great thing that happened to Heximus is, as he was getting his positioning himself to get some hex, he was able to, as we were getting ready to stake it on his staker app, I was like, wait a minute. There's a contest going on right now. And if you do a 5555, you're probably gonna win, because the amount that he staked was considerably, I was like, you're probably gonna get a placement. And here he goes. He won 10th place. So congratulations, Heximus. You got the $300
Wow, congrats.
$300 prize.
Congrats.
It's
I'll
nice.
buy you a beer in 15 years.
Hold on a second. Hold on, Heximus. You got to make the gas vig. So don't be offering beers quite yet. It'll just cover your gas costs to unstake.
For end staking, yeah.
Well, what if I buy the beer now?
Then you can
Yeah, there
stake
you
the
go.
beer.
It'll be
and
worth
wait
more
until
later.
Yeah,
You can buy like 200 beers later on. So
right.
If you can buy $300 in Hex, right now is not a bad time.
Yeah.
spot
It's a
on.
great time. Right?
Yep.
What are we doing? Yep.
Actually, I'm hoping to maybe get some more next week.
Right
I
on.
was thinking about selling a few things at these prices.
The chart's starting to look like Mount Fuji to me.
Yeah. Unless can you switch on the log scale on that one?
Logs? Oh yeah. I thought I was already in log.
That's not the log.
There you go, right there. Log down.
Yep, that one.
There
Yep.
you go. Boop.
Oh,
There we
that's
go.
better.
and zoom out so people can really see it. It doesn't look that bad
There you
anymore,
go.
does it?
Oh,
Nope.
very, very pretty.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I was looking at the BTC chart, a one year chart of BTC, and they went like 7 months from a high to making that high again. It took them about 7 months. So yeah, we're fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It really puts it into perspective when you have this chart like this.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All good.
Beautiful.
All right. Hey, Jerry. Just before we go any further, I think you said you got questions about Hex. I think why everyone's mind's a bit fresh at the moment, and I think the chat will also be very helpful. Yeah. You said you got questions earlier. I think you said something about wanting to know more about Hex before you decide to spend the big bucks.
Yeah, because actually I just I think just a month ago I become with the bit flyer, so I
Oh
tried
yeah.
to put some, not really some amount, just to try about this crypto thing. So I'm just wondering why my total value assets now is almost half. So I'm thinking, so I think this is kind of this, just like the the BTC now is, I think it's I think it's
Oh, so
thirty
you're talking
percent
about the
down.
crash?
So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
it's
a dip.
crashed.
The
I
market
saw
crash.
I saw November it's 776. Then now it's already 52 people. I think 50 49. So then I
Mhm.
saw my value assets is almost half. So I'm figuring out how the crypto, how can you earn this crypto if this kind of trend,
The
the
volatility.
volatility is really like this. So I'm trying to see how other crypto works. So I heard a lot some friends, and I tried to figure out how to. Then I have a little readings. Then I met friends. Then they introduced me some that you can earn. But in Japan, I I read about Japan crypto is, they strictly regulated, so it's not really a good thing to invest in Japan. Your yen. So I want to, if I invest, if I deposit, I want to put my money outside Japan, so I cannot be taxed with 55% with my gains. So I'm trying to. That's why I become interested with this hex when I heard Crypto King. He talked to our companions there in the workplace. So they've been interested, and they put something, they already invest with this hex. So I'm intrigued,
Yep.
and that's why I want to know about this stuff, if it really works, or that's why I'm here now, to hear from you guys, to if
Okay.
you
Who wants to
you,
give him a
you get money from
motivational
this kind.
pep talk here? I think that's what
Yeah.
he's in for.
We can all give him some details.
Yeah.
Can I just start in the most simple, high level
Absolutely.
approach?
Please go.
Jerry,
There you go.
number one, this is something that works, and we're all here in this community because it's been working for us for 2 years flawlessly, exactly as it was described. Zero downtime. It's an absolute sealed code, so nothing can be changed in it. It's absolutely 100% legitimate, and it's brought a lot of us together because of its success. Not only that, but we're because we went through this 2 year process together, we are kind of an enlightened bunch that look toward the next projects and products that Richard Hart puts out, and so we're all very excited about a new blockchain that's going to be forked off of Ethereum. Richard is going to introduce it. It's called PulseChain. And PulseChain will be just like Ethereum, but with very low gas fees. If you wanted to get into Ethereum right now and go buy some and send it from your wallet to your wallet or spend it to buy another token, you would be spending hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars on very high congested times of day. So we not only have a certificate of deposit that works, but now we're going to have a blockchain to call our own with very low fees. It fixes everything wrong with Ethereum. And we're going to get a duplicate of our Hex on PulseChain as a gift from Richard Hart, who decided that he's going to copy the entire system state of a blockchain over, which has never been done before. And that's my 2 cents.
There you go.
Would anybody else like to tell them your testimonial?
I'll get started on that one. Jerry, if you're new to crypto, you're in a different world now. So it takes a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of videos, and you're going to discover that your portfolio is going to fluctuate and be extremely volatile throughout a day, throughout a week, throughout a year.
Yeah.
So you have to sometimes zoom out and take a look at the big picture of things and look at what you actually believe in and if you see value in that asset. And, good things come to those that wait. So if you get frustrated when there's a dip of 30% or 40% or even 50%, it happened earlier this year, March. The whole portfolio dropped by 50%.
Yeah.
I was looking at it, and yes, it's a lot of money, but I'm like, it's just another day in the office, right? You get used to it, these swings. I promise you will get used to it. It is hard to look at first, but you get stronger and you do more research and you build community like we are here today. And then you realize this is the big picture. This is retirement we're talking about here. This is 5 years, 10 years, down the road. And you're going to see those gains, right? So you're going to see dips, but you're going to see those gains and start learning the process a bit more. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I'll keep researching and do some readings about it.
Yep. Yeah, we've all gone through the ups and downs with Hex, and of course with other coins that are nowhere near as good as Hex. What's even more great about it, there's nobody paying us out. It's the smart contract that's designed to, you put in this amount of Hex, you stake it for this amount of time, you're going to get, a return down the line. There's nobody's we're not relying on somebody actually paying us out. It's just the code does it all by itself. So that's what's what we call a trustless yield, or we're not relying on a human being to give us the gains.
Sir Jerry, Hex is not a lending platform compared to different exchange that gives you yield in exchange for lending your crypto. So you gain interest from the contract, from the smart contract. No one can touch your coin but you in the contract.
There you go. So you don't give up your keys to your coins, is what Edwin's basically saying. You maintain possession throughout the whole entirety of your stake.
So the contract, let's say the contract is about when you get the certificate, let's say the deposit contract, a CDI, the certificate of deposit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
yes.
you have to your investment will just sit there for a year. You cannot get the money if you want. You cannot withdraw like that.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You will
can monitor
be
your earnings every
yes.
month, every day.
Every day.
Every day?
Every
Yeah.
day. Yep. Based on a very
Yeah.
high APY. So if you do it only for a few months or a year, you may get 12% for 1 year. But up to 10 years, you get incremental bonuses. By year 10, you're going to get the maximum amount of APY,
Oh.
which right
So
now
that
is
may-
about 27%. per
So that
year.
means your interest and plus your deposit will be compounded to yearly.
It mimics compounding interest because you have the underlying asset that goes up and you get more of the tokens every day. So as long as you get more volume and the asset goes up, that kind of multiplies on each other, and it really mimics compounding interest.
Okay.
It's really simple interest, but it has the compounding effect because of the underlying asset is increasing in volume, value, and also the price of the shares to be able to do it again is always going up. So as long as you go longer at the beginning, it's the wiser bet to get your longer stakes in first before you do shorter ones to give you little tastes along the way. So if you can afford to wait for 15 years, do a little bit in 15 years, then fall back to 10, 5, and then sooner if you want. It's up to you. You can make a menu of staking ladders as you wish. You can stake for 1 day, or you can stake all the way to 5 days, which is 15.2 years.
So you can choose your certificate of deposit for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years,
Correct.
like that?
Yes. Yeah.
You can
one
even
day.
choose 1 day if you want to. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's just you won't do that because it
With
costs
So you
cost
cannot,
with the
fees.
cost.
if you say
Yeah.
you cannot withdraw your earnings if you want to,
No.
let's say, just
You have,
use your capital just there.
Yep.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
You have to
Yep.
wait. I mean, you hear us saying we get paid
Until it's
every
the
day.
maturity of the contract.
Correct.
Right. There you go.
And
Just
if you break
lifetime
your
deposit
contract,
like that.
yeah, exactly. It's just like a regular certificate of deposit. However, in this sense, when somebody breaks the contract and gets out early, and then there's a penalty, right? Just like the real world, right?
Yeah.
If you get a penalty in the real world, where does that penalty go? It goes to the bank, right?
Yeah.
But in this system, the penalty gets shared amongst all the other people that have not broken their contract. So
Oh.
you get bonuses based on other people who break their contract. It stays in the system. So we are the bank, right?
As long as you're staked. If you're so, as long as you're staked, you'll benefit from some of the penalties that people experience. If you're liquid,
Okay.
you don't get that advantage. So the
Jerry
coin is
also, go ahead.
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
So
go ahead,
the coin is designed to stake. It's a staking coin, right? So you have some people that decide not to stake it, so they're losing all of those daily benefits of what the coin is designed to do. So, and that's their choice. Nobody's forced to stake, but the coin is designed around staking. The maximum benefit is you lock it up for a time. It's a delayed gratification, right? That's what Richard's trying to teach us with enjoying something at a later date. You don't need it right now, so let me put this away for later, and then you're going to have a bigger nest egg at the end. There you go.
So Jerry, this is okay. I won't even say this is a cheat code. This is how the world should actually work anyway. So long story short, if you have money, principal, ideally you want that principal to grow over time. So be it 5-10 years or whatever. Now the beautiful part is this. So when you want to harvest your benefits or your yield, you can actually only sell the interest and keep the principal, and you can keep rolling that principal pretty much forever. You can just once you can give it to your children, you can give it to anyone, and that's the goose that lays the golden egg for the next 150 years. So you never sell the original position. You only take your profits on the interest. That is money worth saving, because if it's money that you don't need at this very point in time, you can grow your principal again. So you only sell what you need. So everyone knows this. So we only sell what we need. But as time goes by, as the price, as what I don't know if you've Crypto King has showed you the price chart or anything. These things usually, if you hold, it normally goes up forever. That's just how it is. So now you can see a hex at what, 14 cents. So in the next year or so, I don't know, it'll be $1. So you've already gained 5 times your principal in a dollar term. So when it's time for your money to come out, you only sell your principal, that's a lot. If your principal is, if your interest is say 20%, 20% of whatever that you have is worth 5 times more. That's your earnings right there. So you get paid.
Yep.
So you can get your let's say your earnings. Yeah, you need some money. Just your capital, just as is your capital, just put it there.
Yep.
Then you
Yep.
can take your earnings if you need,
Yep.
some emergency
You definitely
use.
need money, or maybe you're retired. You can actually retire from that. If the number's big enough, you can retire from it.
On my principal, yeah.
Yep, middle class.
Go ahead.
He may have, just be very clear. You don't get to realize your interest, your yield, until you get to the end of your stake. Then you get it
Until the
all at
stake
once.
matures.
Yep.
Then you get
Right.
it all at once, your principal plus your interest. And
Yeah.
what I was trying to say, I should be more specific, and I should say, yes, then that's where you take the interest and go spend it and do whatever you want, and then you can kick the principal further out again. Start a new
Yeah.
contract.
You get
Keep
the
doing
interest
this.
if your capital is already big. So
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
Or
That's how it
compound
works.
it. Could just compound it all and just keep
yeah,
growing your
if you don't
stakes.
get interest, it will be compounded. So that will be really, it will be times 10 or maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
In the years to
some
come.
some of the OG Hexicans on here with us, we are finding ourselves that we're having stakes that are ending, that we had like 1 or 2 year stakes that have already matured, and we're finding that, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and restake the entire thing, the interest and the principal, and put it out longer, and make sure our T-share amount of T-shares that we have is going to continue to grow, because instead of that short stake that may have only gotten us 2 T-shares, now we put it out 15 years. Oh, now we got another 8 or 10 or 12. So that's what part of the game is, T-shares. You want to get your T-shares up. And that's how you do it, by staking longer.
So you can add your capital, let's say gradually. Not really. You get not like
No.
if I have money, I just
Correct.
put it all one time.
Correct.
If I have,
Correct.
let's say I have money, so let's say I get bonus this year, so then half of my year, then I'll just add with my capital. So there's no minimum at how much you're gonna.
No.
So
No
one thing
minimum.
you want to look at is, Jerry, is every time you invest and you stake, you want to make sure that the gas fees are applicable. So we're dependent right now on Ethereum gas fees. So if the gas fee is too high based on what you're depositing, it sometimes doesn't make sense. So you want to be thorough of looking at the gas prices at the current time, so you can make the right decision, right? Another thing to be aware of, and I learned the hard way on this, is shorter stakes. Any stake at all, when you finalize the stake, is going to cost you gas fees. So I've noticed this year specifically, shorter stakes weren't really worth the return because of all the gas fees, right?
Yeah.
So I would prefer now to have longer stakes rather than the shorter stakes. However, PulseChain, what Richard Hyde is developing with the PulseChain, will fix this for the variation of Hex. So the fees are going to be a much lot less. So we could stake every day if we want to on PulseChain based on what we're hearing.
Middle class, this is a great point, and maybe Crypto King's message in the chat is very timely if you can show off TX Street to get the point across.
There you go.
Okay.
It's hysterical. You can see, I mean, now I can read TX Street. It's such a valuable tool because I can actually see which block my little guy is going into now. If you're very into it, you understand what it's representing. You can see exactly which block meets your bid for gas. And you can see your little critter gets in there and then goes away, and then next thing you know, you get a successful transaction.
Yeah, it's funny. I personally just actually learned about that feature a couple days ago when I tried it. You can input in your transaction hash, and then it follows your transaction. Yeah.
Where is it again?
Yeah.
Gas.
Go to home. Go to the home.
Home.
Tab.
Home, and then
visualizer.
Yeah, visualizer.
Ah, okay.
So click on that and then select single Ethereum on the left-hand side.
Oh, I'm learning something because I found myself when I was using this site, I was sitting there watching the numbers like going lower and lower, and like, oh, and I just change it, and then okay, hit it, and then yeah, went in.
Yeah, you can see like what the congestion is. You can see how many people are in line, and it's silly. You may want to try
is that
this
the one
on,
where it brings up the car?
There you
oh
go.
yeah, it
There
brings
we
up the
go.
bus.
on,
Okay, yeah.
on the left-hand side, see up there where it says ETH up at the upper left. Click on that and single view.
Single view.
Yep. Single view.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Single view.
Yep. That should
All right.
maximize it.
Oh yeah.
So now you're looking at
and then you can search a transaction, yeah, and see where you're at in the queue.
So all these little centers are like transactions?
Yeah, those are individual.
Yep.
I think these are the mempool, so that's what's in the mempool at the moment.
Yeah.
And these are the trains, or rather the blocks and the block height.
One's about to go right there.
Interesting.
So this one's about to go. So they clearly paid more, and then you can see these people go from the back to the front, and they're filling up the block.
And there it goes.
And come on,
there it goes.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's a very cool visualization of it.
So what I was doing, I was looking at the initial page where you could see the actual the gas fees.
chart.
So before I would confirm my transaction to stake, or I would see the number adjusting. So I was like, oh, it went from 89 to 79. Let me change it to 79, and then boom, yeah, right, yeah, up there, yeah.
Yep. So like I think right now it's pretty low as well. So it's what 70 something Gwei, or you can get a fluctuation as low as what's 55 Gwei. That's very, very low.
Yeah.
So right now, look at this: priority fee 8 and maximum fee 162.
Wow, that's good.
This means to send it to your wallet will cost you like $20-$30.
Yep.
That's your wallet to your wallet over the Ethereum blockchain. Cost you $30 just to send, simple send. I believe. I'm just rough guessing here.
Rough guess. Not like the old days when it was like 20 cents or 5 cents or something.
Yep, exactly. It was just a laugh riot. Now it's just crying.
Yeah. In saying that, of course, I think another 4 more weeks, isn't it? Isn't that always the running joke? PulseChain, wasn't it?
Yeah. When PulseChain comes out, those transaction fees will be tiny.
Probably
again.
It'll be a few cents, and then this is just a complete suggestion, Jerry. You don't have to do this at all. Some people will do this because the gas fees, or rather the transaction fees, are so low. So what you can do is, some people would say take $1,000 and they will stake for a month. Say $1,000 and then the price will do whatever it wants to do. So you can I'm just using an arbitrary number, say $1,000, and then if it gives you 12% interest, let me do the math really quickly. So it's $120 a year divided by 365 times 28. So you earn $9.20 for staking $1,000 for 28 days. Some people do that. Yeah. So you can harvest your $9.20 and then restake the $1,000
more.
So that's an example of $1,000, and there are people who would because they have money. Let's face it. So let's do, like, say, I don't know, some guy does 100,000, then it just makes sense, right? 100,000 at 12% divided by 365 times 28, so $920. So this person with $100,000 can harvest $920.
Let's say that figure. So that how about the tax?
Tax?
I cannot
from
answer
your
that.
gains.
Does anyone?
Well, it
depends
where you
on your
are.
jurisdiction. Yeah. Are you taking it out in yen through the
because here in
centralized
Japan,
exchange?
because if your earnings if you have gains from your from crypto, if you're gonna sell your you already want to sell your earnings, only your gains will be taxed 55%. So you can only get, I think, 45% of your proceeds from your earnings from your capital. If let's say,
Well, I think
you
Well, I
earn
think that's the
12%,
worst.
so they will tax you with that 120 dollars. You're gonna get 55% of that earnings. You have to pay that. That will be added to your annual income. That's the how it works here in Japan.
Well, I think that's the worst case scenario. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
that's
is
why
that
people
across the
already
board.
have a big capital. They try to put their money outside Japan, so they will be the it's crazy. Everything here is that excluding that gas. You have to pay for that for your when
All right,
you sell your
right,
earnings here.
Jerry.
Right, right, right.
Have you got a tax footprint in another jurisdiction? For example, I don't know where you're from, but do you have another jurisdiction where you have a bank account and you have off ramp options? Do you have a tax advisor in a different country, or is it only Japan?
Here in Japan, I think that's why the it's very complicated here in Japan if because when the government will know that you are earning from a cryptocurrency here, so they have to investigate everything. So the computation is so it's very complicated. So you need to have. I think there's also office in Tokyo, so you can ask from this kind accounting office about crypto. So how they gonna compute your tax from
Right.
because all your earning is will be added earnings from crypto will be added from your annual income. So they're gonna I think add to your annual income if you say your annual income is let's say uh 10 million yen. So then you earn uh as a, you earn 6 million you sell your let's say one bitcoins you sell 6,000 6 million yen. So let's say 1 year ago you invested 1 million, so your money now after a year your money already 7 million, so your earnings is 6 million minus your capital. So they will tax 55% of that 6 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then the remaining profit they will going to add to your annual income from your salary. They will tax you again. So
Well, Jerry, we can
Wow.
take this up in the green room after the show, but just like most other Western countries, you're probably going to be better off to register a kabushiki gaisha, and then you can work the same games that every other corporation does in Japan. Every small business has deductibles. Every small business can hold assets, and every small business can have a tax benefit as well, while it pays you a salary. Your salary, of course, is taxable. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm just a poor slob that lives in Japan, and I'm telling you now, there are always beneficial ways that support all these beautiful glowing lights behind me. Make sure that people can find a way to keep enough of their wealth to keep the lights on. So the Japanese system is not going to rob you of all of your gains. They're going to do what's fair, and you just have to learn to play the system right.
There you go. Beautiful.
Great.
yeah,
Yeah, good stuff.
Well,
Hey, Hex.
the beauty of Hex is that it is DeFi, right? So it's kind of subjective as to which jurisdiction you can allow those gains to go through. So, for instance, I'm from New Zealand, so I put all my taxes through New Zealand jurisdiction. So that's just how I do it. But there is many ways down the street that you can go. So
Yep. Very well said, Black Swan.
Hey, Heximus, have you got any questions, anything like that? How long have you been Hex again?
A week.
About a
A
week.
week?
Yay! Happy
Yay.
birthday to you. We're going to sing this every week that you're a Hexican, by the way.
Good entry.
hey, we didn't
Gotta start
introduce. Is it Ewan? I think we.
Yeah.
Ewan's been with us a while, but
he's been with
he's
us.
been with us.
Ah, okay.
Oh yes.
But you can request. Ewan, you've been asked for introduction. Blackswan doesn't know who you are.
One more thing.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jay.
And BitFlyers, all the crypto. I don't see any hex. So this hex is not yet registered in Japan.
It's not
Well, here you
sold
go.
No.
Good.
There you go. Just like Black Swan was saying, it's decentralized exchanges is where you would rather find hex at. So the way you get to hex is you would go to a DeFi exchange, Uniswap, ETHEX.com, Matcha.xyz, and then you would take your ERC20 tokens, USDC, Ethereum, swap them on those decentralized exchanges for the hex, and then you go to the go.hex.com to stake it, or if you have it on your stake wrap. We don't really want to find hex on centralized exchanges because recently we just had a major hack of Bitmart where $150 million worth of cryptos was stolen.
Yeah.
So I know it's more convenient for a lot of the people coming into crypto to find them on mainstream platforms, but that's where people go to get wrecked. So we would rather not find it on those types of exchanges.
So all deposits is in dollar. The currency here is only dollar. If you want to deposit in X.
No, so like you said, you have Bitflyer, right? Bitflyer is a Japanese exchange.
Yeah.
So you would change your yen, and Bitflyer only allows you to get Ethereum. I believe they don't have USDC, so you would get Ethereum on Bitflyer, then take that Ethereum from your Bitflyer, send it to your Staker app, or no, actually send it to your MetaMask because it won't allow you to send it to Staker because of the smart wallet. It's a smart address, so Bitflyer will only allow you to send it to MetaMask, and then you go from there. Swap it for Hex.
Okay. Because I tried to buy USDT, but then I tried to use my credit card, so they blocked they blocked the transaction.
That's the whole point. The whole point in getting in DeFi.
There's a $100 that, because without my thinking, I just put that I supposed to put $1,000. $1,000, but it didn't succeed the transaction. So one time when I mistakenly put the $100, it's get in, and Ether in the crypto, Ethereum. So when I make another transaction, they already blocked. So I called my credit bank. They said since 2018, it's already regulated in Japan. You cannot buy crypto through credit. You cannot buy crypto through credit card.
Via credit card, yeah.
All credit cards because there are so many complaints about.
They did that briefly with some of the American banks. Did that briefly, but they figured like no, this doesn't make sense. So, but that's
why in
that.
BitFlyer, you have to deposit the bank to bank transaction. You cannot do it by credit card.
Yeah,
right.
So because both the credit card and the exchange will both charge you on the transaction.
Right.
So when you deposit, you already lost about 20% or 10% from your money if you do.
Yeah.
Then plus interest from your credit card. So that's why some people become broke with this kind of crypto in Japan. So that's why some credit company, they really don't allow their client to buy crypto through a credit card.
Yeah, I think Japan has a lot of strict money laundering things going on. So even when I set up a bank account, just a simple bank account was like 5 pages of documents, like I had to send and everything. It was just it was ridiculous.
Even if you send money, a lot of documents they want you to submit, your identity, everything.
Do you guys know if Crypto.com is supported in Japan? The prepaid card?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I think you gotta, I think it's not.
Okay. Yeah,
But-
There have been a
but
lot of
through-
yeah.
kind of copycats, Japanese homegrown copycats of Crypto.com, and they all went away in 2018, 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they were
Yeah.
trying to protect the market for them, and they were not successful because all the copycats died, and now we can't even get Crypto.com cards. So you got to get them sent to somewhere outside of Japan and mailed to you by FedEx or whatever. And then you're in the DeFi space and you can have your fun.
And that's another reason, Jerry, is for you to get into DeFi and understand DeFi is because you have more control of your actual money. You have control of your actual funds. Whereas exchanges will try to control and banks will try to control everything that you do, taxes included. So
Yeah.
DeFi opens up a new gateway.
Rocket Mob says Dharma. I don't know if Dharma can accept a Japanese-based credit card. It's going to be denied at the Japanese-based credit card side. So be careful about Dharma telling people to do that in Japan. Pretty much it's a bank to regulated Japanese centralized exchange only. They want to protect those licenses. They have very tight licenses. They only approved 12 or 13 exchanges in Japan now.
I think 13.
13.
Yeah.
So it's very, very strict, just like Jerry says. You got to play their rules, but once you get into DeFi, as the Prime Minister is now saying, he's going to be looking into DeFi. He's signaling that he's going to be trying to get some understanding of what's going on out there, but he's just taking baby steps. He doesn't know the first thing about what's going on. So once you get your Ethereum or your, USDC or whatever out or die out into the Ethereum network, you are free. And that's what it means to do DeFi, Jerry. Just like David said, you start to get into the DeFi landscape, you start to understand all the wonderful things you can do, things like Hex, things like getting on PulseChain, all that amazing amount of opportunity for you to gain is something that you can't just have at a centralized exchange that gives you
the airdrops.
Yeah, and airdrops. That's
go.
right. That's a great one.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of, PulseChain, there's going to be the biggest airdrop in crypto history. But the only way you get to benefit from that is if you have your stuff off of a centralized exchange like Bitflyer and CoinCheck and Coinbase. If your assets are on those exchanges during this mainnet goes live for PulseChain, you might not get those coins from those centralized exchanges. It's up to them to release them to you. So,
and not your keys, not your crypto. So you need get a hardware wallet and send all of your crypto onto your wallet that you have. It's a little plastic device. It just holds your seeds for you, and it gives you full control of the assets. No one can take them away from you. And like Crypto King says, you'll get your duplication on PulseChain as well for free.
So that means if I use my Bitflyer, I buy crypto, let's say Ethereum, then I transfer to my MetaMask, then transfer to USDC,
hardware wallet. You send it to your hardware wallet. Then the hardware wallet connects up with MetaMask as a front end. That's the way you have to do it.
So if I'm already out on the Bitflyer, so I will not be subjected to tax anymore.
Well, that's not necessarily.
Yeah, that's not. No.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You're bound by the taxation of your jurisdiction. You have to know the ins and outs. Every time you trade one token for another, there's a taxable event in Japan, just like the United States. So you have to keep good track of that type of thing. We are not traders. The people in this community, we are not traders. We're reformed traders, or we're people that knew that it wasn't a good idea to trade. So we don't have to worry about these tax laws until we unstake. When we unstake, then we are subject to the tax laws because then we have gains. So when we sell our tokens, we dispose of the asset, we incur a tax event, and then we have to report that to our jurisdiction as a tax event. We all pay our taxes, we all do whatever, but this is what Richard has given us, is a way to put off the tax event as far as possible and achieve the biggest gains we can.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah, the tax thing's a very tricky thing, man. It takes a lot of research and understanding. So just keep looking into it and figure out what works best for you.
And get your Trezor at Trezor.io. That's the first thing you should do in any crypto game. Getting into this space right now, if you get hacked and you lose your funds off of just a simple browser extension, MetaMask, it's not very secure. You really want the best security at this site right here. Nobody in this community, to the best of my knowledge, is getting any referral bonuses for this. So it's an unbiased, endorsement of this product. I feel is the best one. You can also get a Ledger Nano series as well. But I think as a first timer, King can attest that this one is really the easiest one to start with.
Absolutely.
Are they out of the black ones now? I think they're out of the black.
There are no blacks. Oh,
they got blacks
nope.
in, yay!
They're black. Yeah. Cool.
Back in black.
Cool.
I got to order some tonight if they got some in.
The black one's
Jerry,
slightly bigger.
Are you interested in PulseChain at all, or are you just kind of dipping your toes into Hex, or what do you kind of see yourself doing? That's for Jerry. Come in, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see yourself investing into like PulseChain, or are you just kind of happy with Hex at the moment?
I'm still. I'm gonna figure out what's best. So,
right.
I'll work with you.
I'm positive with this conversation. So.
Yeah, help him out, King. I think
PulseChain
is very, very good for some newcomers to get into, coming in from a ground floor opportunity. I think it's a good opportunity for someone like you to get involved in. So
yeah, a little enlighten me something. So
good.
I'm positive.
Excellent.
I'll talk to you more on the smoke pit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, talking about Pulse, please do not sacrifice because today's prices is 9.2 cents.
Wow.
I'm all in right now. Bullish.
What do you think would have happened if Richard didn't accept the late sacrifices? I think it would have been better. The late sacrifices.
How can you not accept them? The scammers are going to step in and say, "We're the website. Go ahead, give it to me."
Yeah.
Well, it's a tough one because the address exists still, right? So that'll never disappear. So as long as that address is there, people are going to send to it. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's no easy fix for this.
No.
Yep.
Here's a question: if you don't use the front end and you don't enter in the recipient address, you just simply flick your funds at the sacrifice address. There's no real way for them to track it to send it back in case of a possible airdrop, is there? You just willy-nilly get the address from a friend and you just like send a whole bunch of junk to it magically. That's going to cause a problem, isn't it? For you. What do you think? Because I heard somebody on the phone saying, I just sacrificed 10 grand. And I'm like, oh, so you went through the interface and it said that the sacrifice phase is over and everything. No. So you went to the interface where you pasted in your recipient address, correct? Your public address? No. So how did you sacrifice? Oh, I just got the address and I sent it. And I'm like, oh boy, that's like, I kind of think that's gone. There's no, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
It kind of reminds me of that Celsius community channel on Telegram that's making these people sacrifice their coins for some. It's one of those give me one and I'll give you two crap that's going on there.
Oh
I'm
boy.
Like, oh my God.
Okay.
And people still fall for that because it's Celsius, right?
Yeah.
It's verified. It's a verified Twitter account.
Oh, for God's sakes! Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Heximus, do you have any questions
Okay.
or anything? Just happy to
yeah,
be here.
When's Richard Hart coming to Tokyo?
Yeah.
When's he going to promote in Tokyo, in Japan?
Yeah.
That's what he has us for. I don't think he's going to be leaving Europe. He's not going to be leaving Europe anytime soon, I don't think.
Yeah, he doesn't even know that there's HexAsians.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He had to be told that.
Yeah.
Oh, good that we
Crypto
ranked.
King's gonna have to jump
We need to
into.
play.
No, I was about to say Crypto King could hijack a US destroyer and just sail to wherever he is and just ask him to come on board and just bring him back to Japan.
Bring him over safely.
That's it.
Anyway, he doesn't have to hijack. We'll just escort him on base.
There you go.
Nice. Good stuff.
All right, David. You're having to roll out. All right, brother.
Oh, David. Hey, take care, man.
Thanks for hanging out.
Hey, y'all. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, man.
Later, man.
Cheers, David.
Yeah, man. Nice to meet everybody as well.
Yeah.
It's a
Hey,
cavalcade of longboards tonight.
Yeah.
All Crypto King's pals.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, what are your thoughts on the Hex 731 gathering in London?
Top notch.
Did
I
you,
mean,
were
I
you there,
saw-
Black Swan?
No.
I enjoyed
what I s-
seeing, all the Hexicans having fun with Richard, taking pictures, and the dance parties that they were having. That was fabulous, being able to see that. I just think the initial opening of the party was kind of, maybe the sound wasn't that, extravagant as we would expect it to be. But I mean, they did what they were able to do in that short amount of time. But all the after parties that happened after that, those is where, all these extra videos that we're seeing that are very nice. So yeah.
I learned that. Oh, so go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just saying that I learned that technical problems with sound systems, plus a lot of British guys in the back, plus alcohol equals a very unruly situation.
Yeah. I thought I heard
good
booze
time.
there for a minute.
No, booze, like as in give us more booze.
Booze.
Oh.
Yeah. BWOZE.
Yeah.
Nobody would boo on people on stage. That's just idiotic. They didn't boo. They were just saying more booze.
They were hitting.
Yeah.
They still thought Richard was streaming in front of them, doing the comment.
Sorry, Black Swan. Back to you, man. You've muted yourself.
Sorry. I lost my train of thought. I think I was wondering how the documentary crew got on with all that kind of disruption. How that would affect the documentary they're trying to create. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they'll probably choose the better segments that they were able to capture. If there was none, then we won't see none of the, the snafus that Richard even said, like, I'm out of here, like,
yeah.
I guess it was hot. He was hot, and he's like, I'm done. Like,
I think it was all good. Look, we're 2 years old, right? This is the first kind of crazy event that we've had, other than the Vegas one where Richard wasn't even there. So it's the first real official thing endorsed by Richard. I think a lot of people may have been intimidated, and we're just like, and yet there's cause for such celebration. We made it 2 years. Look how many X's we've achieved, even with this pullback. Dips are in the game, like Richard says. We're all kind of just letting loose, and these people that went there just are brimming with excitement. They want to hear what's going on, and they're showing off their successful stories, and I think it was fine.
Yep.
You guys, I'm very grateful for this opportunity tonight. I'm alone this house. I have 2 kids now. I'm about to attend. My wife is not here. She's working.
Okay.
So
No,
I see you
okay.
again next
You got a
time,
hot
guys.
Right,
date. I
Jerry.
got it. I understand.
Yeah, nice meeting
All
you.
right, Jerry.
All
Okay,
right,
have a
Jerry.
good one.
Good night.
Night.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for stopping by.
All right.
Did you guys see this one? Hex
Ooh.
Toys
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
for
Nice.
Richard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
He
wasn't
handed
sure.
it to him.
Did Richard gave away one of his watches or something? Or something like that?
What? No.
Really?
I don't
No,
know.
just joking.
No.
No.
Because there is a picture of him adjusting a watch on Psy, but I don't know if that was him.
Correct.
giving it to him.
Oh, I thought he gave it away or something.
Like
Nah,
giving
he-
it in return for this medallion. I think.
For
That's
that.
what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's possible.
Ah,
I think they both have the same watch.
they
if I'm not
do.
mistaken.
They
Yeah.
do.
I think he's just checking it out.
Yeah. They were just
got-
comparing
But he-
them side by side.
Yep.
And by the way, this isn't where the bling ends as well. You understand that this is multi-sided. It's both sides, all encrusted on both sides. Plus, what you don't see in this picture is the chain that's also got diamonds on each little link.
So is this the chain that Richard was talking about on one of his streams? He said
Yes.
he had one ordered. Is that the
Yes.
right one? That is this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he
So it
order
wasn't
it?
a-
What?
Yeah, it wasn't a
No.
big surprise after all. He was kind of expecting it, wasn't he?
Oh, I
Hex
thought
was
that
right.
was straight up Psy got that for him.
Yeah, he mentioned
Wow.
like a couple of months ago, I think it was, and he said he had like a big pendant ordered, double sided, like
Yep.
exactly like
But-
this.
But it was Hex Toys that actually got this done as a gift.
Oh. So Funding Jim's hanging out with us. Is that right?
Ah, nice. Does anyone want to send him the link?
I can pass him the link.
Yeah, let's do that. Cool.
That's a great treat. Have Gary on with us.
Hey,
Yeah, because he was there.
Midcast, there's someone in the chat asking if getting in Hex and Pulse is late already or early.
Where is?
He's asking if it's late.
Oh, there we go.
It's never late for Hex, but you're kind of late
No,
for
never.
PulseChain
For Pulse.
for the sacrifice.
Maybe we can put it this way. Getting into Hex, E-Hex would be so OG when they look back at it. When everybody's transacting in mostly in PulseChain. And then those who got in before E-Hex are like old school Hex guys.
Yeah, I mean, from my opinion, a 70% retracement or even higher than that is a good buying opportunity for Hex, in my opinion. And then in regards to Pulse, I mean, we haven't even launched yet, so we're still at the beginning of that. So,
I mean, and just to get the copy of your Hex is probably a good motivation incentive to get Hex now.
Yeah.
I would not. There you go.
Agreed.
Discounted and duplicated. What more do you ask for?
There you go. Almost can say you're doubling your money, but we can't actually say that. But it's you're doubling your quantity of Hex, whether it's exact doubling of the value. That's to be seen. Yeah, Heximus, normally on our HexAsian streams, we'll go from anywhere from an hour to maybe 3 hours. What's our longest one we've done?
Oh,
Maybe?
gee, don't even talk about 3 hours. It's
3 hours?
I know. I'm just saying that he doesn't. I mean, if he has to go, it's fine. But usually we could go for at least two or three good hours.
We've
Not
been
saying that's gonna be
averaging
tonight,
around
but-
110, 115 nowadays with the slow, news days. Just
Right.
quantity and quality, come on. Or you could do the Crypto King hour after we're done. How's that?
I think a couple more beers, so we're good.
Funding Jim.
What's up? What's
What's
up,
up, buddy?
Gary?
Hey.
What's up, Gary?
I heard a few of the questions.
What's up?
You want to recap a few of them about like that medallion? That was pretty cool. If you guys just showed the picture a few minutes ago of what Sai did, that was really neat.
Yeah, we were
very
trying to
cool.
decide whether or not was that what Richard ordered, or did Sai gift that to him?
That was a total gift. I mean, Simon gave
That
so
was total
much.
gift.
Like he gave out of his own, pockets or whatever, just a ton over the whole week. He arranged this event at Fabric, which is a very exclusive kind of spot where people were able to dance and stuff like that. But again, it's mostly crypto guys and Hex, so I didn't see that many women. But outside of the general public mixing, it was Sai did so much. I mean, he sponsored so many things, and that was like a 2-month long project. And that jeweler that made the medallion is very, very well known. So there's a lot of people that learned about Hex just because they follow him as a jeweler.
Mhm.
And I think that's really pretty neat. Like our own community, we might have people inside the community that want to talk about jewelry making or restoring a car or building a garage or whatever it might be, but we might not have those people. And I think it's pretty nice to tap people that have audience already. And if you're going to commission something, why not commission something where along with it you get a video? That's what happened with that jeweler. That jeweler already was making content, already had a very large following for his expertise. He already was doing all the filming of jewelry pieces he was making special commission. So it just went really well with the gift that Sai paid for to Richard. So I thought that was pretty nice outreach, kind of double two birds, one stone kind of effort. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Is there any other
Gary?
questions about the event? Oh, there's another thing I heard just in the last few moments was about the sound. So the film crew, their sound is perfect. The stream, I think that your sound probably on the stream was okay or great. I think it was directly plugged out from the board. So I think your streaming stuff that Markable handled, Markable did a lot. That I think that went well. Inside and on the stage, we had different sound because if anybody's ever been to London, these places, these locations, these venues are ridiculously expensive. So to host 700, it's probably like 600 or 700 people that were there. I heard different things about, and I saw different memes that people want to popularize about reality versus expectation, and that it's the grand ball, Oscars kind of events as far as opulence. Well, the film version is going to look quite good, and a lot of the stuff that you were seeing was us streaming from our cell phone or whatever that kind of content, or taking individual pictures. That is not the purpose of the documentary element. The documentary element, they have their sound, they have their filters, they have all the stuff that made it really look nice, and it's a very professional team. These are Emmy award-winning people. So even though
Gary, I don't think you have to apologize for anything. I think that the thing that we saw on the stream, we couldn't even tell that there were anybody in the audience being unruly until people called it out. We didn't know there was anything problem with the sound or anything like that until people on the stage were saying, "You can't hear me," or "Should I speak up?" It really did sound fine on the stream. So you're absolutely right. And I do know also that you're right in the fact that these venues you wouldn't know if it was an opulent venue or not. You couldn't see anything because we saw the stage. So those people that just made that meme, I think they were just kind of having a blast, just kind of memeing like memers do, right?
Yeah. And we've seen this strategy play out before. I'm not trying to make up for it. I do see people that they want to buy, and maybe they want to buy lower, or maybe they just want to be haters. I do see people that are like, why are you saying shit like that? That doesn't seem to be aligned unless you have an ulterior motive. But yeah, it was a terrific event. It was high caliber. There were people there. We're tied in now with people that are high up in fashion, high up in cinematography. Some of the people that make the Marvel movies you pay billions of dollars to see, those people were in the room. There was influence inside the room that were ecstatic. And some of them were Hex holders. Some of them were just the guest of someone that happened to know about Hex or Richard. So it was very worthwhile. Whether you call it a marketing campaign, you call it a celebration, you call it, an opportunity to have more than one thing happen on one night within a few hours. because there was film crew people, there was influence going on, there was networking going on. It was really, really powerful, and it was really useful. So,
yeah, I know. Richard did mention that. He's like, yeah, there's the billionaires flying in on private jets to the meetup or to the celebration. Yeah, that's right on.
Yeah, and it's not, and again, I don't want to take away from billionaires that have made, or people that have made significant money inside of Hex, because quite a few of us have made significant money inside of Hex. There's a lot of people that were there that I think the tipping point for them and the buying opportunity, and classically how dips play out. These are good times. You can see it in one prism, or one lens, or you can see it in a different one. But I think it's very good times, even at the price point, even the woe FUD that people end up throwing out there. The people on the outside that we were onboarding this past few days, the meme is great. It's like, hey, this is classically, it's been as high as 56 cents. It's been as low as 0.000056 or whatever the narrative is. Here's the chart. Here's the examples of the dips in the past. Things tend to rhyme. There's just a lot of opportunity. And if you, or the audience or anybody doesn't want to suck their thumb, go do something. A lot of people are doing something, and to help the price, to help the narrative, to help the publication. It's very cool.
That's great. Thanks, Gary, for the insights. Because, like you said, like when we see pictures on Twitter, everyone's just showing a white wall and people dancing. They don't see what's on the other side. They don't see what's down the hallway. They don't see, the entrance or anything like that. They don't see any of those.
Yeah, exactly.
And then tonight we've got, if you haven't seen it already, on Discourse Syndicate, chatting with the captain, he's going to have Jason Hartman on. Jason Hartman has a lot of celebrity influence. He's very well known. He's got a very successful podcast about real estate specifically, macroeconomics specifically. But they're going to talk about crypto. They're going to talk about, basically the bigger economy in the United States in general, about rent nation versus owner class of real estate. So about tax strategy. There's all kinds of stuff that should, come out in a one-on-one conversation between RG3 and Jason tonight too.
Outstanding. Yeah, I did see that tweet from the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Guys, I got nothing else. Anything else? There's anything to say?
Buy the damn dip.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, go ahead and give us your socials so everybody that is watching can reach out to you if they need to.
If you don't misspell Funding Gem, if you just put the 2 G's in there, if you don't misspell it and you put it in Google, basically the whole top page will go to some platform. It'll go to Instagram, it'll go to Twitter, Funding Gem. I'm on all platforms that way. And I'm trying to help people get more uniform with their SEO as well. So if you're already an influencer and you're not tasking it yourself, then we're sponsoring people to do those sorts of things for the core influencers, especially if you're not already mastering it somehow. So Funding Gem, just throw it in there and you should find me on Google.
Do you have any updates on Hex University, or is that still a work in progress?
It's not the highest priority of this tax year. I mean, again, there's people that can buy real estate right now, and they can do that because they want the depreciation maybe, or the strategy of it. But real estate really is an all-time high. So we are going to do the university. We're probably going to lease property first. I am going to see if I can commit A-Bit and Patrick to a property in Miami and be basically the first trial of an academy. It'll be basically just really to capture content. We're there for video. We're there for stuff that we can recycle through everybody's influence pages and things like that. So I did see the wrap that was made. That was pretty cool. We are going to do it. It is December. I don't think it'll be pull off in December at all. It'll be January or February. We have an event. So I don't know if you've seen, again, I'm not over promoting other people's stuff. However, I'm definitely going to Rebel Capitalist Live, and the film crew right now, as long as they get the model releases to be in the audience, it's going to be about 700 people in the audience. The film crew will come. Hopefully also Kiyosaki and Ron Paul and people like that will be in the documentary, to be in the film. So they're going to be shooting content. So I've already got the producers connected to that event. That's January 7th to 9th in Houston. So I'm going to that. I'm getting other Hexicans to go. So I'm doing more things than just the university at this moment, because I think the priority is to get stuff we can broadcast more so than educate one-on-one peer-to-peer on asset stuff. If you're going to do tax things, this is December. What are you doing? You need to figure out something. You're tax person in your jurisdiction. You haven't already moved. If you're strategically thinking about moving, that's another thing. So I think I haven't gotten commitment to a date yet, but I think that Andrew from Noma Capitalist also.
Catalyst.
Yeah. So cool. We've got a direct route with some Hexicans that are very high up, not just in Hex, but in their career and influence. They're helping as well to get Andrew on the channel to talk about specifically Hex. So, and strategy. Is
there any opportunity for more influencers to attend that event that you're in January? Because I could reach out to G. Edward Griffin. Would probably be a nice guy to have there as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the site, you'll see the panelists. I think it's like 12, 15 panelists. And it's people, again, majority of who George Gammon's audience is. He's the host of the thing, Rebel Capitalist Live. And he is mostly talks real estate, macroeconomics, US based. Some of it is like, the political scheme of things, stuff like that. But mostly it is real estate. The most of the audience that goes there is real estate related. And I've met people not just because of that, but I'm also part of a brain trust when it comes to real estate stuff. So some of the people inside of our group is, they've got, $400 or $500 million worth of real estate. So I talk mostly to real estate people, and that's the audience at that event. And it's just like if you have a good contact in fashion, or they work at a high end jewelry store, or they have some celebrity to some skill set that's unique or rare, you're going to find avenues where they can be either onboarded directly or their audience can be onboarded into Hex. So that's really our strategy, is more, instead of, come find us on YouTube and having people specifically search to find Hex stuff, it's the peer-to-peer, person-to-person, word of mouth stuff that's the most powerful in any marketing. So that's really what we're doing mostly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I remember, King, we got to work out that security thing for you as well. If we can do it real time, we can wrap that up with that.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I just wanted to remind you, because I just remembered. If Gary's done, then that will be something I want to go to.
Yeah, thanks for that, Gary. Very, very good
Gary.
to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks.
Good.
All right, Papa Crypto King, how do you want to do this?
Well, King, can you share your screen, and are you sanitized enough with what you're going to be showing if your screen is shared, or no?
I thought it was just going to be walking through some other scenario. I didn't know if we were going to.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be valuable for anybody watching if I say, okay, click this. Are you done? Hey, it's done. The end.
Okay, let's see here.
Can you reveal your MetaMask without revealing too much is the question. If you can't, then we'll do it this way.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to.
Okay, all right. So the background, just real quick, this will be a 1 minute thing. So what happened to King is he got in a MetaMask and he was shocked to find that his balance in MetaMask is it's all the Ethereum. It's printed, instead of black with an Ethereum balance, it's all in kind of a yellowish gold. And it says that the balance has not been synced, or it may be inaccurate, and he can't send, he can't do anything to access any of his funds. He got really freaked out. And there's a simple fix in case of any of you getting this kind of problem, which does tend to happen. Do me a favor, King, follow me here. Are you ready? Go up to the MetaMask icon up on your browser, up where your extensions are handled up there at the top, and right click on that instead of left clicking on it. Right click on that.
Okay, I see.
Okay, and you see it says, the second line says this can read and change site data, and then it's got three options that scroll up. Which one does it say right now for you?
It says when click the extension. When you click the extension.
Okay, do me a favor and click on all sites.
Okay,
click on all sites. Change it to on all sites, and what happens?
Well, let me log into the.
Yep, log in and tell me what happens next.
Actually, this is the fix that I found on Reddit that I sent to Crypto King in the HexAsians chat. But he said he tried it and it didn't work.
Let's see.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're black now.
There you go.
Wow,
you're fixed.
Oh,
the end.
All right.
Well, I'm glad it worked.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
Wow. Yeah,
Nice.
I got freaked out. So yeah, Vince and Middle Class were helping me out, and they recommended I just go ahead and recreate on a different browser. So I went to Firefox, opened up a new MetaMask, and everything was there. So, but yeah, so it looks like I'm safe anyway, but I got freaked out there for a moment.
No reason to freak out. As long as you have your seed words, there's never a reason to freak out.
Well, it's always a learning experience. Security is what we really care near and dear to our heart, especially what happened with Hex 19 last couple of weeks. But
yep. And King, you're on a Trezor. As of a few months ago, we got you all migrated over, and everything's nice and tight.
Yeah. What was weird was I was doing stuff on one of them. I was end staking and restaking.
Yep.
And then I went to, I sent some of the Hex to the other one. So I went and removed it, and then I plugged in the other one, and go.hex.com was just nothing was happening. I was like, what is going on?
And I told you before that you've got to, every time you unplug a Trezor, and you had like Trezor 1 at the top, and you go and you connect up another Trezor, you should remove the previous Trezor account off of MetaMask to prevent that bugginess. Okay. And also, when you go to go.hex.com and you've got a new one plugged in, you've got, the account is correct. It says at the top of the screen, it says Trezor 1. You go to hex.com/stake and you don't get any joy. It's because you didn't click on that same icon that we just horsed around with just now, and then you approve it to connect. If you do that, then it cycles and you get your balances. It's no problem.
Beautiful.
And that's it.
Papa, if you have a moment. So in a hypothetical of a person that's only going to put $1,000 into crypto, they're not going to put more. They have $1,000 in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a Trezor, buying a ledger, installing complication, the time of things, the security element, $1,000. What's the most efficient way that they can be a participant in Hex with $1,000?
Well, and you're telling me that you don't want the overhead of actual security. So you're going to, because here's the problem that you face. And this is a big question of value. When you and I got started on day one, we were just horsing around. We didn't ape in with hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? I was that guy that put in less than $1,000. And then it became quickly something that needed to be secured. And thank God I started off with a hardware wallet because I didn't have to worry about growing into it. Every day we do migration from people that didn't think it was going to become this valuable so quickly. So the person with $1,000, they're getting into this game with Hex because they do believe in the vision and that we can see that 10,000x from here. So they should have their security posture set from the get-go. I would urge them to do so. Now, if you can't convince them to do that, maybe Staker app is for them, right? It's convenient. They can get into it. They don't have to spend anything for overhead for security. It's got a Gnosis safe on the back end. Version 2 is going to be great. They're going to get their duplicates very easily and seamlessly. They can click over. They'll get a duplicate of the actual Gnosis safe as well. It'll all be integrated with a very handy dandy type of, method. And all they have to do is spend a little bit of Ethereum to activate the wallet. How much does that cost with gas? Does it cost the same as a Trezor? Probably less, but then they have an all-in-one, one-stop shop. Also, they can buy through the actual app, right? They can actually buy through the actual app. They can buy through MetaMask if they really want to pay for those high fees. There are avenues open to them, but I believe that when I tell people to do it right, I'm really referring to getting a hardware wallet and owning your keys offline completely as a first step. And if they don't have that money to see the value in getting a Trezor, right now they're spending that in gas fees alone to do the swap. Why wouldn't they invest in the hardware wallet? So, and then there's an argument against that too, saying, well, why would they want to spend double gas fees? Now they got to spend $875 is the only value they get in Hex at the end of the day. They already spent $125 in the hardware wallet and the gas. So I don't have a clear answer for it. I just have my gut instinct, and that is I'd like people to have their stuff offline and keep their keys safe. I think that Staker app is one avenue, hardware wallet's a second. And if they don't have the energy or the money to get those two things nailed down, I honestly think they should wait until they get that amount of backing to get into crypto in general. They shouldn't go in without, we see people every day in chat come in. Every day, someone gets rinsed. Someone gets rinsed. What do? I did this mistake. What do I do? Somebody got my hardware wallet, keys because I left them copied into my browser, or my MetaMask is now zeroed out. What do I do? We triage these problems every day. So if they don't have the money to keep their stuff safe, they're going to be paying for it later on, guaranteed.
So would you say that, because I've heard, again, seed words and a titanium capsule buried in the backyard, whatever it is, as far as your security method of your seed versus, because I don't see some of these people, again, they're not going to be paying attention to YouTube channels. They're not going to be doing, they're saying, out there $1,000 or something. And if I tell them, don't check for 2 years, when they come back in 2 years, it may be worth something significant. It may not. It may have had a lot of forks. It may have had a lot of airdrops if it's Pulse or something like that. So I'm trying to think of like the $1,000. I'll throw it in something. I won't look at it for 2 years, versus the overhead of, like, we want to be safe every time we enter and exit or move around or whatever on the blockchain. So I'm just thinking of different population.
Yeah. I think that the actual transaction to begin with should be safe, right? I think that saying that I'm going to take this, fiat and throw it at the computer screen, there's all these other steps that you have to take that each have to be secured in just getting the tokens, right? Mm-hmm. And then where do you put them when remember people that started with Bitcoin, they threw their laptops away
hardware,
with their, we didn't have these things, like the hardware wallets were not independent of the PCs. You had to get your own thumb drive and encrypt it yourself. Those ended up in landfills or absconded by, the help. Some friend at a party finds out whatever, makes off with whatever. We had different problems back then. Nowadays, it's a little bit more streamlined, at least. Still very much of a headache and expense. But yeah, it's very difficult to convince people that they got to take security into their own hands, right? And that it for 25 years, I've been trying to convince people to part with their budget for something that doesn't give them an ROI. And that's always very difficult. But in the end, they always say, my house is burning down. Can I get your fire insurance now? And I have to tell them, I don't do that. That's not what I do. I give preventative guidance. So it's just a balance, man. It's just a balance.
An interesting perspective would be, think of the fact that you have to earn $200,000 per year and have a lawyer or CPA sign off and prove that, or have $1 million worth of assets and have a CPA or lawyer prove that, in order for you to be classified as an accredited investor. And an accredited investor can participate pre-IPO and all these other kind of startup things. And they're supposedly sophisticated enough that the government says, hey, you make a risk. You've proven to the marketplace or to the government that you're reasonable consideration as a accredited investor versus someone that may not have that same vocabulary, terminology, or viewpoint. So what I'm getting at is you have to do a lot in order to qualify to be an accredited investor, and the work to learn Trezor or how MetaMask works or security, and participate at the $500 level versus the I'm accredited level. It's different, but there's still two levels. They're similar in responsibility. Like you have to prove something, and one is you can prove that you can secure your sound money or your digital token or whatever without someone else pilfering it from you. I think it's worthwhile. Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. Don't think I've got anything else. Vince, anything else? Ewan? Black Swan, last words. Heximus?
Oh, good.
Well, happy birthday.
Yep.
No.
I guess it's
I don't know
going
if
through terrible twos.
I don't know if Gary was here when we said it, but Heximus is one of the winners of the Staker Wrap contest for this week, and it was his first steak that he made. So
Cool.
Very happy guy.
That's neat. There's people, I mean, again, think about some of these opportunities that we have had historically and others. When Big Payday was coming around before, I know that there was different, like contests and giveaways and, kind of bringing awareness. And some of those are very significant, obviously with Ski Cat. We were reminiscing this past few days over the craziness of getting a tattoo at midnight, stuff like that, for to win something. I had shown a tattoo that I tried to do on my ankle just in order to qualify. And reminiscent for my idiocy or whatever idiocy. It's interesting to have these different contests come around again, and so it's really cool. Whether it's the Staker app and onboarding, or at least understanding or brand familiarity about Stakers doing, I think that's neat. There was I was going to say is David Morales. That's his Twitter name. He's popular also inside of Telegrams and stuff like that. He had one. I think we put together. It was like 4 or 5 of us, and I think we put 10,000 hex each. And I think his prize that he won because he was the closest to figuring out the price prediction or whatever we were doing last year. He has sponsored him because of his investing strategy, and he didn't really have anything before. I think he's part of the sponsorship of like 9,000 meals in Miami. Like he has done a lot just as far as the charity.
Wow.
And that's partly is because, you may not think it's going to be much, and maybe it will reward your lifestyle potentially. But, at the end of the year or 2 years or whatever he staked it out for, I think his winnings, he staked it. And then, it ended up being something he could use as a charity. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, I think I saw Cabana was driving on his way to a drug rehab center to deliver some meals or something. That's very awesome to see.
And a lot of these OGs, they're doing stuff. I don't. They'll say themselves that they want to be known about it, but they're sponsoring like battered women houses and all these different things that are charitable event stuff. And actually, they're setting up trusts where a percentage of the trust yield, if they go anything conventional or whatever, that a percentage of that yield throws off as charity. Ken McElroy does the same thing with his apartment yields. A percentage of what he earns as a company, he's the leader of a 250 employee company, and a percentage of what that company makes goes into charitable cause. So, consider those things. There's more to this than just mad gains. Think about what you can do as far as your own local community or your own local, impact. It's pretty cool.
Well, speaking of that, I have the little Hexquisite designed hoodie that I'm wearing from hexmerch.com, and 100% of the profits of when this item is bought is going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
I love it.
So shout out to little Hexquisite for that.
Yeah, I love it.
Hexmerch.com.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that being developed and thought out, even with the relationship to NFTs. Even though we talk about NFTs and kind of a, degens or whatever, we'll pursue it. There's some of those things that do have a percentage thrown off, and they are by people that are auditable and can be called out if it was a bogus or whatever. But there's percentages that go off into charitable cause. I think it's pretty cool. It's social outreach, and Richard led that cause with the Sins. With his charitable time donation in 2003 or 6 or whenever he did it. So, look at example. Be an example. If you don't see one that's speaking to you, be the example for others.
Speaking of that, I wonder if he's going to do that again with the pulse swap sacrifice. Is there going to be a send opportunity? Probably.
Maybe so. Who knows?
Another 27 million, maybe more this time.
Yeah, I mean, there's all people are trying to figure out if it's a yield farming token, that's going to appreciate in price at a different speed than an infrastructure token, I don't know. There's 4 of these things now. There's Hex on Ethereum, Hex on Pulse, PulseChain, and PulseSwap, and these are pretty amazing to have all of these. It's the whole ecosystem, and you heard him when he was talking with Superman yesterday about MetaMask, a version of MetaMask being a task after this. So even though he says he wants to go after longevity research after killing it in crypto, I think he's going to make sure that the whole ecosystem is represented as an umbrella to make and fix a lot of the things we have seen fucked up in crypto. So I'm glad he's tasked.
Yep.
Yep, sounds good. All right, we're coming up to an hour 35. I think we're about done. Oh, I was about to say I will not be streaming for the rest of the year. I am packing up all my stuff, so everything's going away. So I will see everyone next year, I suppose, at some point.
Happy New
Safe
Year.
travels.
Will do, man. Thanks, man.
All right, later, guys.
All right, everybody.
All.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you
for
guys.
hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
HexAsians is a proud member of the Discourse Syndicate Network.